Meteorologist Tuttle here. For years, I've been recommending Ferguson Roof Systems to homeowners across Oklahoma. So when Mother Nature struck my house, it was an easy call to make. There's no one I would trust more than Ferguson Roof Systems for my home's roof. Since 1977, Ferguson has led the industry with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and lifetime warranties. Plus, they'll even deal with the insurance companies so you don't have to. So when Mother Nature strikes, make your first call to Ferguson Roof Systems.
All right, everyone. Hey, Meteorologist Tuttle with you. It is Saturday at about 2 o'clock, a couple minutes early. Usually I'm a couple minutes late. This time around, a couple minutes early. I got everything set up for you so we can look at the latest in the weather data, find out what's going on with these winter storms. We've got one moving through today. If you've been outside in the last 10 minutes or so here in Oklahoma City, you've noticed there's been a big change in the wind and also the temperatures, and that's because another cold front came through. It's got some snow out there in Oklahoma. We'll show you that on the radar as well, show where that's headed and how much you're going to see out of that system. And then we'll talk about the one coming in on Tuesday. That'll be another disruptor for everybody's infrastructure, unfortunately. So we'll detail what we've got on the latest data to talk about there. Plus, we're going to have a live Q&A at the end of this broadcast. I've had a lot of questions on the subscription service options. What does it mean? What to do? Where should I go? Facebook is leaving me on a wait list. What do I do with that? All that and more. So hang with me. We'll get to that too at the end of this broadcast. It'll be a quick one. Weather will probably take about 15 minutes to show you everything, and then Q&A will just go as long as you guys have questions. Maybe another 5 or 10 minutes after that. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But thanks for joining me, and pardon the voice. I've had the flu all week. Today I'm like, I don't know. And well, there's like moments where you kind of feel better, and then like an hour later you're like, oh, I feel sick. And then you like, oh wait, I feel better again. So I'm in that stage of the game. So hopefully this afternoon will be better. I'm kind of back and forth here so far for the morning, but hopefully you don't have the flu or don't get the flu. If you do get it, my sympathies out to you. All right, I'll tell you what, let's take a look out there currently. Make sure you have everything up and running for you. 38.8 degrees on my Tempest weather station. So I've dropped about 6 degrees over the last 20-30 minutes, looks like, thanks to the cold front that has come through. Cloud cover course associated with that as well, and that'll be with us for today. If you take a look at the radar view, check this out. We do have, let me draw this here on you, a map. So this little low represents the area of low pressure with the cold front that's coming through. So this is our good old-fashioned cold front moving in. So we got a good strong northwest wind behind it. And yes, what you see out here, echoes on the radar, is a changeover to some snow in the data. So I put this into motion for you, showed you kind of how it's moving from west to east here across the northwestern quadrant of Oklahoma, pretty much bounded by I-40. Now, the majority of this precipitation will stay across the northern parts of the state. We're going to be some, light stuff down here, but as far as measurable snow and whatnot, is probably going to be across the area in the northern half, and I'll show you the maps on that here in just a second. But that's what's going on right now. If you do look at temperatures across the state, they're cooling down quite a bit. So into the 50s out here in southeast Oklahoma, upper 30s and low 40s here in Oklahoma City, and then it drops in below freezing once you get down toward the Woodward area as well. Okay, now let's go on into the rest of the maps that I have here for you. So here's a look at temperatures across the state. Like I mentioned, the yellow line is where the freezing line is, so you get some snow behind that line, but you also get the wind. Wind chill values up here. Ceiling is 17. Wind chills, it feels like 18 degrees in Freedom, 17 in Alva, 20 in Fairview. Let me tell you, this is going to feel balmy, downright warm compared to what's coming our way for next week. I mean, this is going to look like a cakewalk. You're going to wish you had these temperatures, these numbers come next week. All right, speaking of which, Weather Service outlined the fact of a little bit of snow moving through, and you can see how the gradient across mostly the northern half of the state with lighter amounts down to the south. And they're kind of focused already on dangerous cold with the wind chill. So that's going to be the big talk. There's two big talks. One, a winter storm. It's going to mess up your travel, etc. But the other is the brutal cold. We're going to have wind chill values that we have not seen around here in quite some time into the negative numbers. And we're talking negative teens, negative 20s. We might even have some negative 30s here over parts of Oklahoma as we head on into the Wednesday and Thursday time frame, thanks to that very strong cold front. And of course, we do have the snow coming in. We'll talk about that as well. And the precipitation types, as usual, is the old winter mix. Northern parts of the state, snow. Southern part, a little bit of that ice and stuff. Now, if you do look at, let's talk about some safety tips real quick for people, pets, pipes, and plants. So make sure you spend the time to protect everything. If you haven't done it already, you're late to the party. I mean, winter's already 2/3 over, but you can still get out there and do it. Just kind of check on each other. Definitely don't leave your pets outside in this particular case. And hopefully, your pipes have done so far pretty good with our cold bursts that we've had this winter. This one, however, is going to be a little bit more of the nasty side. Let me see, anything else here I want to highlight? There's talking about impacts to infrastructure and roadways and stuff for northeast Oklahoma there. So we'll detail that also coming up. Okay, that's about it, looks like. Okay, all right, let's go into the jet stream pattern. We'll back it up here. This is today's system, this little guy right here that's zipping through the southern plains, and that'll be causing a little round. And then the polar vortex right here dips out of Canada into the north, and then kind of splits out here across the northeast. We get a piece of upper level disturbance from a shortwave trough axis coming over here across Canada, zips down across the Rockies and then into our area on Tuesday, and that'll be our storm maker. That'll create the next winter storm for us with all the inclement precipitation. Piece of that polar vortex wraps back up here into central Canada, has all the coldest of the cold with it. Of course, that's going to be focused right here across the central part of the country. We'll show those numbers here in a second. When you look at the timing for the lift of the atmosphere, the first wave moving through right now, so see this little color of white, that's where we're getting that light precipitation on radar. All right, well, that moves out this evening. So here's like 6, 7 o'clock. So there's like 9 o'clock this evening. You see how all the lift is gone? That means it's a short, quick moving system. That's all she wrote. Come on, voice, you can do it. All right, then let's zip on into Monday. Okay, we start getting more lift around here as the pattern changes. So here's Monday afternoon, for example. You go, hey, there's some lift. Does that mean we're getting some precipitation? Well, let's take a look. Forecast sounding, oh, not so fast. We see this red line, this green line, the too far apart. So in other words, we have a strong high dew point depression. It means the atmosphere is too dry at that point in time, but you'll get some clouds. All right, let's go on into time. You see more of that lift continues by the time we head into Tuesday morning right here. So how has the atmosphere changed? Let's take a look at the forecast and see. These lines are getting closer. Oh, they're very close down here at the bottom. So you know what that means? Low level instability. So you're probably going to get some sleet out of this already as we start to head to Tuesday morning. Have a little bit of light freezing drizzle, etc. You can see throughout the day that red intensifies. In other words, stronger red. And then for the afternoon hours, that big bulk batch starts to move off kind of in this area to the east with some residual here. So there you go. It's a Tuesday system. With increasing in intensity as we go throughout the day. All right, here is a look at Sunday morning temperatures. So obviously today it's going to be chilly for the rest of the afternoon. We're looking down into the, let's go to the blended models. Teens across the northern third of Oklahoma for tonight. 21 here in Oklahoma City, about 25 Wichita Falls, down around Dallas, you guys are down around 30, 32 degrees. So cold night for everybody here in the surrounding region. Oh, should I go ahead and show you a sneak peek of what's coming next week? No, let's wait. I'm going to save the best for last. All right, let's talk about precipitation. Okay, so here's a look at the radar view for today. So you got the snow we talked about to the north. So here's 3, 4 o'clock, moving through quickly over the I-35 corridor here by 5 o'clock. So it's a good round of some heavy snow at times. See that little burst? They're moving through Tulsa and Bartlesville around 6 and 7. Just some light stuff for Oklahoma City. And that moves out here by 10 o'clock. Another little wave out there for the Panhandle. Falls apart, western Oklahoma, around the midnight to 2 a.m. hour. And then that's it. Things are quiet. We don't have anything more to worry about until we head toward Tuesday morning. And that's when things start to get a little excited around here. All right, speaking of which, here is a look at the maps on Tuesday. And looking at the different models that we looked at the other day. Or was it yesterday? I've lost track. All the days run together when you got the flu. The UK Met, we'll watch each one. The take home I want you to see, and it's going to move around, is where the exact freezing line is. And some models do better at others. Just so you know, this just kind of give you an idea. So there's UK Met, there's a Canadian, there's an AM, Icon model, American model, the bigger version of the Canadian, and the European. So they all say the same thing. The difference is this little transition line moves around north and south depending on the model, and that just depends on the depth of the cold air. If the cold air is deeper, stronger, then that freezing line gets pushed more south, so therefore the wintry mix gets pushed more south. Okay, snowfall amounts. If you look at the ensemble runs for the models to see how much snow and the majority and the placement is located. The UK Met loves Missouri. Several inches of snow there. Obviously, it still keeps the love in Oklahoma, just the heavy stuff out there. The American, same idea. Sweet spot, Missouri. The European, likes the idea of the sweet spot Missouri, but look at that. It gives Oklahoma, northeast Oklahoma, a lot of love, from Tulsa to, say, Stillwater up to Bartlesville, Ponca City. All right, and then the Canadian, kind of splits the difference. Kind of comes into northeast Oklahoma a little bit, but also kind of favors southwest Missouri. So there you go. So the take-home you noticed in all the global ensembles is that so where the highest snowfall amounts are going to be is in that region of the country, and the cutoff as far as the measurable significant snow is pretty much the I-40 corridor. Points south, the wintry mix will prevent the snowfall from accumulating a whole lot, whereas once you get along that boundary points to the north, you can get several inches. Okay, so let's take a look. Two systems. So the first one today here is, let's go with the NAM. So this is the blend of models. Outline here is what's important on this one. Okay, so there's your outline of snowfall for today. And if you look at some of the high resolution data, it will indicate at some point you will have little pockets here of about a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of snow. And that's it. In other words, nothing more than that, nothing more aggressive. That's all she wrote. And some models do favor still a bit better snow out here that got picked up in the data, whereas for whatever reason, like the NAM model didn't even know it's snowing out there right now. So sometimes they're not infallible. They do miss it. That's why sometimes you have to take a blend. But if we still look at the blend and you look at the other models, it's still the same story. So roughly I-40 corridor and amounts anywhere from a dusting to maybe 1/2 inch to 1 inch at most in scattered areas. Okay, so that's for today. What about for Tuesday of next week? Let's take a look. Let's wrap this up Wednesday morning. Keep in mind, anything that falls next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, it will not melt. None of it. So whatever you get Tuesday is what you're going to have on Wednesday, and it's going to be gross. All right, so here's a look at the blend. In other words, a model blend. This is the conservative number, just so you know. So it's got about 1 to 2 inches here in Oklahoma City. All right, so again, the I-40 corridor is a dividing line, much less amounts all the way down to south into North Texas, and much heavier amounts in that little sweet quadrant up here in northeast Oklahoma, and also southeast Kansas, and pretty much all of Missouri. Otherwise, there's still some good snows in that area anyway, all elsewhere across northern Oklahoma. Now that's the Canadian, the blend, like we talked about. If you look at individual models, the European is probably the heaviest widespread. I mean, they've got 9 inches of snow there in Bartlesville, 8 inches Ponca City, 6 Tulsa. That's some good stuff. 2 to 3 out here in western Oklahoma, and looks like Edmond about 4 inches, and like Norman about 1 inch, right? The American model, big, huge difference, obviously. Basically bone dry. We can throw that away. The Icon model, well, maybe I shouldn't throw the American model away so fast on this one, because the Icon likes it. We'll see. I got to watch the trends on this one. UK Met also favors northern Oklahoma. So that's the easy call. The harder call is the bash of what's going to happen here in the central part of the states that could eliminate some of the snowfall amounts, because we have this to talk about. Ice. All right, so this is the Canadian overall outline view. The American shifts it north, and that's why it lessens the snow. So it adds more warm air advection. That's a bias in that model. Not necessarily it can be wrong this time of the year. That can definitely happen. The European model, still consistent. Splits the difference, mostly. Anchored in this area right here. So let's move all that, focus on the Euro. If this was taken for the grain, for actually what it's going to be, we're looking still at 1/4 to about 2/10 of an inch of ice. Now this is not power outage criteria, so to speak, as far as ice load, but it is definitely a nightmare for travel. All right. Now, where you do get amounts that are higher than 1/4 of an inch, you got a problem when it comes to power outages, especially because of the wind. And believe it or not, we might actually get power outages due to the wind alone. That has nothing to do with ice. But if you do get a combination of the two, you're looking at a problem. So when you're looking for potential power outage areas, if you were to ask me, for right now, again, I'm going to lean heavily on the Euro until we get closer to the event, and you can see a little bit better in the data. But that would indicate this region right here is favorable for power outages, and there might be a little small enhanced region here for power outages across Oklahoma and Arkansas. So if you live in that area, across, I'll zoom in, by the way, just so, because some of you don't know where you are in relation to a map. So I'm going to do that here, but I also want to look at the wind here real quick. So tell you what, let me zoom in first. Yeah, let me zoom in first, and then we'll look at the wind. All right, so let's go back here, the Euro. So there you go. So there's Oklahoma City. So looks like about Norman, towards Shawnee, Little Axe, little area there, maybe susceptible to power outages. Again, this is assuming the big assumption that this little band doesn't shift a whole lot. This is a general area, for example, in today's data. In other words, if what happened on Tuesday was a carbon copy of this map right here, that's the solution. Same thing over here in eastern Oklahoma, east McAllister toward Fort Smith. And of course, if you're in the western Arkansas region, same idea for you guys, Hot Springs. You might have a little issue with some power outages down here. In this area where you do have accumulations up around 0.3 to 0.4 of an inch. It's kind of on the borderline. It's not overly aggressive, but it's enough. And that's because I wanted to accompany that with the wind at the time. So let's go into, let's see here. So Tuesday afternoon. All right, so we'll see what some of the wind gusts are. Yep, around 30. Yeah, so wind gusts up around 30 will do it. Let's go to Oklahoma. And that's just a snapshot at Tuesday in the afternoon hours. That's not even for the whole event. And same thing here. Now there's a lull here, but that's expected on occasional data. So if I were to put this in motion, it will not stay that way. Let's take a look. I'm looking at this together because I didn't have time to look at this earlier. Okay, so Tuesday of next week, so there's 6 a.m., 9, 3, 6, 9, midnight, 3 a.m. Yeah, so anything that's accumulated on the trees, etc., overnight on Tuesday night, we're going to have strong winds overnight in excess of 30 miles per hour, according there to the GFS. Let me look at model comparison and see if what the blend says. There are some models that have lighter amounts, but not that much lighter. So yeah, we'll probably have some sporadic wind power outages as a result of that. And that's important because of this. You don't want to lose power in this situation. Definitely want to use heat. All right, so here's a look at temperatures. This is going to be the model blend of all the models because they all vary a little. And this is a conservative number. So the reason I want to show you this is because conservative can be not obviously aggressive enough. And the take home of that is a conservative model is already at 4 degrees for a low come Wednesday morning of next week. 5 in Tulsa, 1 in Bartlesville, 0 Enid, Ponca City -1, Woodward -2, out here in the Panhandle -6. Whereas in Kansas, you guys are the negative numbers from -1 to about -11. Cross over into Nebraska, you're down around -18, -20 degrees in this area. So obviously, this is pipe bursting temperatures plus hypothermia temperatures. Your pets can die in this weather. You can die in this weather. And then we talk about the wind chill at that same time, right? I'm going to use a model blend here just for this purpose. All right, so this is again on Wednesday morning. Again, we don't get this kind of stuff that often. So it'll feel more like -17 degrees here in Oklahoma City. This is not Celsius, this is Fahrenheit. -19, -20, all up into the Panhandle region of Oklahoma. The entire state of Kansas, anywhere from -20 to -30. Same thing in Kansas up to Nebraska. It's going to feel like -40 nearly in some areas. Iowa, Missouri, you guys aren't safe from that either. All right, so that will probably be our coldest day and morning would be that Wednesday. I'm going to go back here. We'll look at Thursday morning because it will also be quite cold. But the core of the cold should be shifting to the east a little bit. It'll be some of it will be settled down in here though, so we're not going to escape it. So there's 3 again here in Oklahoma City, -1 in Woodward. So we're in the single digits to below 0 in Oklahoma. The purple area, by the way, is the below 0 number level. Back up here into the -teens to -20s. Factor in the new wind. And let's see if the wind is still a factor. Now, it shouldn't be as strong, all right, because usually that means the high is settled in, the cold air is moving off to the east, so we get a little bit of a break in the wind, just a little. But it's not going to take much, obviously, when you already have a temperature of -25. But regardless, it does appear there's not a whole lot of wind with this at this time because the wind chill values aren't really much different than the actual air temperature. So it looks like that's about the same. So there you go. Wednesday and Thursday are the most brutal, coldest days we've got coming up. And if you look at this like on a 7-day outlook, for example, here in Oklahoma City Metro, you can see that our low here tonight, about 19 degrees, and cold tomorrow. We'll probably struggle just to get above freezing. And then on Monday, not a bad day. And then Tuesday, we'll have temperatures falling, okay, throughout the morning into the rest of the day. And that's when we're going to be down around the goose egg come Wednesday and Thursday morning. And it is completely possible that we don't break 10 degrees on Wednesday. So a high of 13 may seem, like a far-reached number But then Thursday we should start the rebound, and then there's Friday, still struggling to get above freezing. Then after that, it's on to the races. And we do have a switch in the pattern where it looks like some warmer weather is going to be coming back in here, and things get much better for us. Now, for your individual forecast, you can always use my free weather app. It's AT's Weather to Go. It's on Apple and Google Play. It's been free since 2014. It predicts tornadoes before they occur. Gives you about an extra 15 to 20 minutes at times. So I would use that. It can save your life. Plus, you can get your daily forecast on and get a lot of other weather data and etc. So that's always still out there for you. All right, so let's talk about, let's shift gears and discuss any questions you have on the subscriptions. So I know there's been a lot of questions. So we're going to sit here for a little live Q&A. And then if you guys do have some questions, if you put them in the chat already, I won't be able to see them. So you'll need to put them in there fresh. Let me zip through YouTube here real quick. And I'll just scan through the comments and see if there was anything on there. Now, Serena wanted to know about how much snow in Norman next week, Tuesday. Right now, the models are about 1 inch for that south side of town. Probably a little bit more on the ice accumulations you're going to have for there. Whereas maybe say like Edmond has maybe more like 2 or 3 inches with less ice accumulation. But we'll know more as we get closer to it. Okay. Now these I hope these questions don't run by here too fast. Otherwise, it'll be difficult for me to catch them all. Okay, so Andrea wants to know, do we know how long we'll be on the wait list for Facebook? No. And this is what I've been told, because I don't know. I have no control. When you guys sign up on Facebook for a Facebook fan subscription is what you're talking about. Most of the time, Facebook lets you through. And you become a Facebook fan subscriber, and you're good to go. And you got a little badge above your name or to the next to your name, and that's what it shows. But then others of you says that you're on a wait list. And I don't know what that is. I've got no control over it. I can't approve you or disapprove you. That's a Facebook thing. And I hear that they're telling people that it's my problem, my fault. I'm like, oh, no, you don't. I actually Googled this because I was like, what is this? And it turns out there are a lot of creators that have had this problem, and they put it in the Facebook help sections. And if Facebook doesn't answer, they just close the ticket complaint. So obviously it's a bug. Either that or Facebook doesn't like you because you've been a bad boy or girl, and it's punishing you somehow. One or the other. So what you can do is try to wait it out and see if it eventually does approve you, or try to cancel it. And some people are saying it won't let you cancel. Well, then Facebook's holding you hostage, so they're not getting their ear. But I believe it's probably attached to like your Apple Pay or Google Pay, whatever you have attached to your account. You might be able to try to go that route to cancel Facebook and tell it to get lost. I don't know. I mean, it's something you can try. Otherwise, just wait it out or contact them until they cry uncle and they do something for you. But yeah, I can't do anything about that. But if you do and you can cancel that subscription option, just go to Patreon. You can do it that way. You can do a PayPal version. You can do Instagram Live. You can do TikTok as well. So there's other options you can do. You can do YouTube. A lot of people do YouTube as well. So they're all out there. And just real quick on, pop this back up. I did this on my last live. If you go to my website, it's this one here, and I've linked in the comments many times. It's the one I'm moving to a subscription-based format. If you go down here, there's no ads, by the way, on this page, so you shouldn't have any ads. So were some people that clicked on something that launched something on their phone, and it had nothing to do with me. I'm like, ooh, you got malware on your phone. So yeah, it's just be careful where you're going and what you see. It's got to have AT's weather on it. It should be clear and cut. But anyway, it's got your options on here. Facebook, Patreon, YouTube, Locals, PayPal, TikTok, Instagram. And some don't like those, so they'll do either Venmo or Zelle. I've had a few people do that. But either way, whatever you're comfortable with, and they'll take care of you. And this does describe, by the way, the detail, what happens. And I mean, we can read this here together. But bottom line is, you can choose any of these platforms, but you have to watch on that specific platform. Now, if you're on Facebook, for example, and you join Facebook, but you want to watch on YouTube, unfortunately, I have no control over YouTube. They're their own thing. Same thing with Instagram and TikTok. So, but what I can do is if you subscribe on the other ones, but you want the ability to watch on Facebook, I can do you that way because I can control the Facebook group. So I can invite you to that. So that's my workaround to try to bring everybody together in one place. It's the Facebook private group. It's the best I can do. It's a very fragmented, system with social media, so I kind of have to figure out a way to kind of corral all the cats, so to speak, because everybody likes their different platforms. So that's the best I could come up with. But if you're on Facebook, like for example the subscriber, And you don't have to do anything else. I mean, if you want to jump into the Facebook private group page, you can. But as a subscriber, you're going to get the feed of all the content as well anyway. But if you want that little extra bonus or be able to flip back and forth between different communities, go for it. You can jump into that page. And same thing for all the other subscription offers out there for the different platforms like Instagram and TikTok. If you want that Facebook group page, you just send me a message. And then I'll give you the link to go to apply. But you have to send in your receipt via email, very important, and you have to answer all the questions. If you do not answer the questions and you do not send in the receipt, it's an automatic denial. All right. If you do it again, it's another automatic denial. If you do it a third time, you're banned. So I wouldn't do it because don't test me. The reason why is because I don't have time, I got way too many things to do, and it fills out my inbox, and things start getting lost. So play by the rules, real easy, simple, and then I can get you in, and everything runs real smoothly. About 90% of you have no problem doing that. The other 10%, I'm like, you need some help. But yeah, I can work with you. But man, you're draining me here. So yeah, just make sure you do it. The email is at@aarontuttle.weather.com. Real simple. I know some people send it to aarontuttle.com, and I don't know who that is. I don't even think it exists. I think it bounces back. But you can do the at@aarontuttle.weather.com for the receipt. But you can check out my website, and that will give you more information on that blog post. Okay, so some of the questions here, let's get through here. By the way, if you do guys have any on Instagram, you can shoot those too. Let me scroll through that real quick. Yeah, Jody put the overview in the comments. So yeah, the family plan, okay. So yeah, if you're on Instagram, you can still get the broadcasts, and you can also join the Facebook group to get them as well. Instagram puts you on a wait list. What? You guys must be naughty. That's only my solution to that. You are some naughty people, because otherwise you got penalized when everybody else got in, and I got nothing to do with it. I just highlight you to go to where the link is that they give me, and that's all I do. Okay. So Alyssa wants to know, can you offer a version of your app that I can pay to take the ads off? So I'm working on the app right now as far as what my options are. Right now it's still free. It does have the ads on it. Now, what I can do out of the goodness of my heart, because remember, 15 years, it's already been the goodness of my heart, but if I can get enough subscribers, I can take the ads off, period, anyway, for the app. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to lock down the website, like aarontuttle.weather.com, or at least certain sections of it that only you can access as a subscriber. In other words, the content's all yours and no one else's. So the ads will be removed from there, and which is also another hassle. And I get it. I hate the ads. The ads pay almost nothing. They're like half a penny of a penny. But it was the only revenue you can get coming in as a content creator, and so it's just frustrating if they pepper your site with that stuff and slow it down. So I'm totally anti-ads. So on the app, I can do the same thing if I can get enough of you to sign up and join and become subscribers, because we're going to be taking this a whole different direction. We're going different. The thought had been in the weather industry, and this is myself included, it was a lie that I believe, and I don't know why, but it's a lie that everybody believes, and it's because weather is always subsidized. In other words, you've never had to pay for weather. Someone else always does. Now, in your mind, it's free, but as you know and I know, there's nothing ever free. Someone somewhere is paying it, and sometimes it's you just don't know it in a roundabout way. Well, weather, a lot of times, is in a roundabout way, in addition, obviously, to other businesses paying as well. So, but when you try to take that out as a paid service, because it's been given away for free for so long, there's this thought, well, if you can't take weather and make it non-free, so to speak. And so I believe that lie as well. And I thought, yeah, everybody's used to getting weather free. And it's true, they are. But not everybody is used to getting someone that they like, that they've been with for years, that they know, that they trust, that is extremely intelligent and helps them understand weather better, breaks it down so they can understand and learn meteorology, and then protects their life and keeps them nice, calm, cool, and collected at the same time when the worst of all worst strikes at the midnight hour when you're half asleep. And that has value, and that is why this works, and that is why weather doesn't have to be free. So I've proven that collective formula is a winning formula if you're the right person for that spot. So I thought about it long and hard, and I thought, you know what, I think I am, because there has to be a symbiotic relationship where I've been given 15 years, but there has to be something that gives back or I'm in trouble, right? In other words, there has to be a core relationship, whereas you have to and I have to both work really hard for our dollar, and then we both have to value that dollar, which I do, and I'm sure you do, and then we have to make sacrifices on where we want to put that dollar, which I do and you do. So as I do that to you, and then you do that for me, we're linked. And so going forward, we're going to have a mutual relationship where we're locked in together and we benefit one another, versus a, mother figure out here feeding all the little puppy dogs on the nipples, until the mom dries up and dies. And that's the way this had been going. And my body and my spirit, my mind, my energy was all starting to go, okay, whoa, we got too many litters and something's got to change or we're not going to make it. So this was basically for survival for everybody. So it needed to happen. And I waited a long time to make it happen, and I finally pulled the trigger. I said, it's either going to be now or it's never, and I'm gone. So when I got to that point, I told my wife, I said, it finally got to this point. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it for my own survival. So that's why we're at. That's why we're here. Now, as far as the question about family plan, whatever, yeah. So spouses are always free, because I get it, and plus, different platforms. So the spouses, when you get into the private Facebook group, you can add the spouse in there. Now, I don't have control over any of the other platforms. In other words, YouTube, they lock that down. TikTok, Instagram, they're all locked down. I can't just add people. They control all that. But the Facebook group is where I get to be the puppet master. So yeah, you can put your spouse in there, and then I'll put them in. For kids, what about my kids? Well, obviously for 13 and under, they can't be technically on social media. Just to let you know, that's illegal in their eyes. And matter of fact, on my Facebook page, they made me sign something that says that your content is not made for audiences under 13. So just to let you know, that's a thing. And of course, mine's not. I mean, it's geared for everybody, but it's not a specific tailored deal. So keep that in mind. But yeah, you can message me privately, and then I'll tell you what you can do for kids as far as getting them in the group. And I'll take that on a case-by-case basis. But yeah, so that obviously I'm going to be cool to you on that. So don't worry too much about it. All right, so that was a good question. Let me see. By the way, thanks for those. Let me just quickly scan through again each one's. You're not a bad person. You're just misunderstood. I saw your comment on Instagram. All right, let me go. Where's my YouTube people? All right, let me quickly scan it through YouTube. So YouTube has closed captionings, Serena. It should be. There should be live closed captioning on YouTube and Facebook. And if that's not anymore, let me know, because I've had that up for years. And so you may have to pick the platform that still has it if they remove that for some reason. I love how you guys offer advice on how to run a business. It's cute. I appreciate it. I know you mean well. Unfortunately, you just don't have all the knowledge of what goes on behind the scenes for all of this on the app side, creation side, website side, content-wise, the social media outlets, all of it. Trust me, it's a nightmare to navigate. So I'm going to go whatever is the easiest for me, and none of this is easy, just so you know. All right, so back on Facebook, by the way, skim through those comments. First off, if you got banned for whatever reason, you're in the ban list, shame on you. You shouldn't be in the ban list. If you're wondering why you're in the ban list, it's two reasons. Either one, you ran your mouth, and I have a zero tolerance policy because I have a zero F's given attitude of life. I'm no longer letting anybody drain me of any energy at all. And if you put anything negative back toward me, don't care. You're dead to me at that point, so you're gone. You don't even exist. You're an NPC. So you get banned. All right, it's an instant ban, and that's if I even see it or even catch it. But most of the time I won't, because I'm busy. I got things to do other than to babysit you. So you get an instant ban for that. And then if you are one of those that's brave, I'm gonna put this out there because I'm a troll and I'm not even a follower, but I want to be funny, and then everybody else goes in there and likes all that comment. Guess what? Ban. I don't care. I'm done. So, and I'm not going to apologize and you don't get back in. So all I can say is run your mouth on any platform you want. I don't care. Guess what? You go bye-bye. Go somewhere else. And if you really spend your energy doing that, you might want to reassess your entire life or find out if you're even human, because odds are you're probably not. You probably don't even have a soul and you're just wasting your time on this planet, which is what a waste of an existence. But there you go. There's your short answer. So yeah, as far as like a yearly deal. So a lot of these comments, Holly, or platforms, they don't offer a yearly deal. I wish they did. And I'm sure they have their business reasons, right? Remember, because I don't control this stuff. They do. But I'm sure that they're business reasons. But what I can do, if that is what you want, there's 3 options for that. So Patreon was the original content creator option back in 2018 when I had a lot of you sign up for, because there you can do a 1 year. All right, so that was an option. So that's still there. So if you want to do a 1 year, you can do Patreon. It'll give you access to the private Facebook group page, but that's the only platform. In other words, you can't use that to go watch on YouTube, again, because I can't control YouTube. Now you can always join multiple platforms if you want, but that's extra money. I mean, I know it's really low, a couple bucks, but still, I'm not going to sit there and tell you to do that. The other option is you can join through PayPal. In other words, there's a 1 year subscription link there. And again, I put you in a private Facebook group page. And then like Venmo. A lot of people are doing Venmo. Same idea. I can put you in the private Facebook group page. So for a 1 year deal, that's the best I can do you for until these platforms offer that as an option. So until they do, we all have to kind of work with what they got. That's a good question, though. All right, I'm just going to scroll through. Tina, yeah, I've been asked a lot of that stuff for kids things, and I used to a lot more back in the early days of this, and then as I got older, I had less and less of my time was available, and I had to start saving it, Plus, I got to keep the wife happy in there. So when it comes to your kids or my wife, I hate to tell you, but I got to pick the wife, and I hope you understand. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to do it, but I just don't. But, if things change, you never know. That's what I'm saying. Tomorrow, things happen. And you never know what, tomorrow's going to bring. So if things get back to that point where I can do that, of course, I would love to do it. Julie, I don't know. My mind works really well. I'm a really great multitasker, which is funny because apparently it's a weakness. We all thought it was a strength. And now they said research says that's a weakness. But I don't know. It allows me to run all of this at once and still analyze storms and still talk and still think and protect you guys. So I don't know. I disagree. Susan, yeah, those payment options, PayPal, Venmo, they take any forms of payment. It can be. I know you said credit card, but I think they take debit cards. I don't know. You have to see what the options are when you click on them. I mean, you can't just like put cash in an envelope, which I wouldn't advise to do anyway. Some people, Brenda, are having a real easy time when they click the link on Facebook and takes you to the page and figure it out, and others are confused as heck, and I don't know what to say on those cases. Tammy, when you say it doesn't work for me, when you click on it, I don't know what that means either. I have an engineering mind, so you have to give me data for me to work with, so I can solve the problem. So on YouTube. So Instagram, Rockwall on IG. Hey man, you're gonna have to watch. Well, unfortunately, this is lame by the way on Instagram. They don't allow replays, which is dumb. Maybe they'll change that. You can watch the replay on YouTube and Facebook. But if you click on my link, that's on my website, and I actually posted in Instagram, I think, and on the Threads page the other day. Those will take you to the direct YouTube page, and there's a join button and a perks next to my account. So just click on that, and that should take you to the way you can sign up on YouTube. I know sometimes it's not obviously intuitive or obvious, especially if you've never done this before. So it takes some time to kind of figure out, and I get that part. So I still notify you when I do go live on the broadcast as best I can. I use 2 things for that. So I use the Facebook broadcast channel. So anybody can join that one. But you have to have Facebook Messenger installed on your phone. but not everybody can sign up to the Facebook broadcast channel. I don't know why. It's like this waitlist crap. Facebook is weird when they do stuff. They roll it out. But if you can get in, because that's why I let everybody know I'm about to go live. All right. The second thing is I do have, for a while anyway, I don't know if I'll keep it going or maybe I'll rework it, but I use a third-party interface for communication. That's a bot system. And you can sign up for that. So anytime you send me a message on Facebook, for example, it'll take that bot system and work you through some steps where you can sign up that way to get notified. And I got a couple hundred of you that have used that. It's expensive, but it was like the only thing I could notify people with back when these platforms really wouldn't notify you when someone was live, so it was my workaround. But since they kind of did better at that, it's kind of used less and less by people. They seem to be able to get the notifications without it. So yeah, Melissa, if you show up as a subscriber above your name, you're good. You don't need to do anything additional. So Megan, this starts now. I mean, the whole process is underway. The reason why is because I need to get this all done and taken care of the best of my ability by March 1st. And you're like, well, why March 1st? If you live in Oklahoma and look outside, you'll know why. Man, it gets fast and furious around here. And I don't have time to do anything, much less sit there and try to babysit a bunch of waiting requests to get in. And so that means anybody on that waiting request is just going to be when I get to you. And it's going to be very frustrating. You're going to get angry. You're going to want to cancel. And I'm going to say, sorry, you should have done it, February 15th. You should have done it February 16th, February 17th. I gave you plenty of warning, told you. Everybody laughed and cried and poo-pooed and said, you're fear-mongering, you're scaring people. I'm like, no, you idiots. It's just facts. My time will be almost next to zero, so if you want to get in, you better do it now. That's all it is. It's not a fear thing. It's a reality check. Some people don't like to live in reality. It's not my problem. You miss out. If you listen to some, dork down the street that says, oh, you should have sold your house for X much money. That's how much I think you should get. You listen to that guy, well, you're an idiot. You're not going to sell your house. Same thing when it comes to this deal. You listen to the guy who says, oh, I wouldn't do that. He's just fear-mongering. And then come March 1st, tornadoes hit. All of a sudden, you can't see any of my content. Well, was I fear-mongering? Was I being factual and truthful to you and you listen to a moron? Well, now you're stuck out in the cold. So don't listen to morons. Listen to me. If you want to come in, come in. The water's fine. I'm in the process of weeding out the cancer before we even start this process. In other words, cancer, in my view, is anyone that runs their mouth all that negative energy. I don't need that in the group. Don't want it. Don't care. The rest of us don't want it or need it. The rest of us understand the value that you're getting. And so they don't want that to poison the atmosphere. So we're weeding them out early. So anyone who runs their mouth, they're gone. And that's why. It's great. It's so funny. The cancer doesn't understand it's a cancer. And so when you call out the cancer and then the cancer runs their mouth, the cancer doesn't realize that all he did was out the fact that the cancer needed to be purged. As it makes my job so much easier. And even as I say this, the cancer right now is listening, not realizing that they're cancer, and they'll still run their mouth and expect a different result. It's hilarious. I don't lose any sleep over it, but the cancer will, and then they'll go on 5 other platforms and complain to 50,000 other people that they got rooted out. And then they'll come and try to message me later on some other platform and say, hey, why don't you let me back in? It's the funniest thing you'll ever see. I see a lot of craziness on this side of the on the video, just so you know. All right, let's see what else. Guys, again, more questions, just let me know. I'm trying to answer them all. Ben, will this be the only weather app I need for all weather? So I have my weather app, AT's Weather to Go, so you can use that one all the time. And my website, AaronTuttleWeather.com. So there's still all the same outlets that I'm on right now. They'll all still be there for you. Just some of them are going to be locked down. Most of the content will be locked down, let's put it that way. So Julie, every time I go live, there's always people in there talking and asking questions. Sometimes I can see them, just depends on what I'm doing. If I'm looking at maps, and obviously I can't see them. Sometimes Jody will pass along something if there's like a duplicates of many of the same question that needs to be talked about. Okay, so Nikki says, if you subscribe, Patreon, can we watch anywhere, anytime, like Facebook or YouTube? Unfortunately, no, you can only watch on Facebook. That's the only thing I have control over. I really got frustrated with Patreon because they never allowed live video to them. They handed it off to YouTube, and then you just placed your YouTube link in the Patreon. I'm like, well, that's dumb. That didn't work out. So they never really because they really didn't intend for that platform to be a social media platform, of a lot of content generation that the rest of them did. Because video, especially live video, is very, very expensive. It's very taxing. You have to have a lot of servers, a lot of bandwidth, and it's only getting worse. All right, that need is growing exponentially. So for them to survive in the way they structured, however they did, it wasn't feasible for them. So they still haven't done it, and I don't think they're ever going to. So yeah, so if you're on Patreon, you can still watch the Facebook group, but if you want to say YouTube, for example, you couldn't do that. So what do you do? Well, there's some options. So we'll talk about that right now. You can double dip. In other words, you can buy another platform subscription, and you can keep your Patreon, and you can do it that way. Or you can cancel Patreon. You can move over to whatever platform you want, say it's YouTube, and you can get into that one. You can watch on YouTube. The good news is, again, anyone has access to the Facebook private group. So it doesn't really matter which platform you're on. I will give you that one. It's like a backup. It's a secondary, because some people like to watch on Facebook, and I get it. Let's see. So Mindy, yeah, you can subscribe even on Rumble. Now I do. That's a good. So I'm glad you brought that up. Now I'm fresh to Rumble too. So Rumble's in the same process. Even though they are a huge media platform with video, they're still idiots, and they still don't have the money to make it live streaming video to the followers. So for example, like on Facebook, on Twitter, etc., they have the membership video only program. So in other words, you get your subscription. When I do a live, it goes only to members. No one else can see it. All right, so everybody else is doing that, but Rumble can't and won't for a while. Instead, they decided to try to get their, and this is what I got on them the other day. This is where they try to get their content creators to pitch premium. They want everybody to go to Rumble Premium. All right, Rumble Premium benefits Rumble, but it does nothing for the creator and the follower, because it does not allow that close private transaction to occur. It's just a public transaction. If you decide to pay a premium price like everybody else, they can all watch it. Well, that's not what that's supposed to be. That defeats the purpose. So that's what Rumble's doing right now. And it's like, guys, come back to me when you figure it out, because that's not going to work. So instead, they offload that to locals. And I didn't really use locals a whole lot. It was a placeholder. Until I could get that whole Rumble thing worked out. And since they never came around, I had to activate locals. So locals is on there. It's what happens if you have a subscription for Rumbles, etc. You do it on locals, and then that way you can watch on locals like you do here, Facebook or YouTube, Subscribestar, etc. privately. Clint, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Once you join the private Facebook group you're in, if you've been accepted. Now, if you didn't follow the rules and you didn't send in your receipt and you didn't answer the questions, you got denied and you didn't get accepted. So if you were to go try to apply again, then it would show that you're not in the group, or try to go to the group and show you're not in it. You have to reapply. So I'm not sure if that's what you mean. All right, let me see who else. Let's go back to YouTube again real quick. By the way, I see you guys on YouTube, all the green badges, being new members. That's awesome. Dave Goodridge, I'm going to get lost in this shuffle. You are? Why? Let's see here. Let me scroll through. Yeah, if you're still sitting and pending, well, I don't want to say that too soon, because remember, I have to get around to letting you in when I get time. So you might sit there for a day, you might sit there for 2 days, you might sit there for an hour. It depends on whatever I'm doing, how many I can knock out at once. And if I get a bunch of people not following the rules, guess what? When I could have knocked out 10 people, I can knock out one and go spend the same time looking for number 2 that I could have done in knocking out the other 8 or 9. So it depends on your fellow brothers and sisters if they want to play by the rules. That's how fast you'll get in. Sometimes it goes real smoothly and we just knock them out one after another, and others I'm like, are you serious? Can you not read? Do you think you're too good to answer the questions? That kind of stuff. So Kara, yeah, I answered that Patreon question. You're totally fine about switching, if you want to be on YouTube and pay that way. Joey, you should have gotten questions. I've had a couple people say there was no questions, and I'm really curious as to why. And if that did happen, it has to be a glitch because those are the questions are there for a reason. Anytime you join a group on Facebook, before they let you in, you're always questions you have to answer. In addition to like agreeing to the the group rules or something like that. Every time I've ever looked at a page to join, it's all the same, and then it has to be approved by the moderator. So you should have seen questions. And if anybody's trying to sign up for the first time and there are no questions, just screenshot it and send it to me like on a DM or an email, and I'll look into it. But from what I understand, every time I ask somebody, did you actually do this? You actually that? Well, I didn't really paying attention, or I looked the other way, or I just clicked a button. All right, Nikki, top fan, awesome. Thank you, Ashley and Karen as well. Okay, again, this is Q&A for any questions that you had on the subscription deal. I kind of went into a little backstory as to why again, some of the more details on that, and then now it's just some of the individual questions because of problems that you're having or what you just want to know about before you sign up. So Kenny, I've seen you before. You're really lost on all this, and I don't understand why. Just go to the website, aarontuttle.com, and click on the platform. You're on Facebook right now, so we'll click the Facebook link and just fill it out. Read it. It tells you the price. It tells you how the payment structure is set up. But yeah, all of them are month to month, unless you want to do PayPal, Venmo, or a Patreon option, which will do a 1 year for you. Yeah, don't be afraid to visit the website and click the links. It'll answer all your questions. Katie, you've been waiting 3 days. Yeah, because all that stuff was cleared out this morning as far as anyone that was in the group pending. So if you didn't get in the group, then you're rejected. And you should have gotten a notice that you're rejected. Don't take it personal. It just means something was wrong. Either I didn't get the receipt or didn't see the questions. And I can tell you that sometimes that happens. I don't get the receipt because these are servers that have to talk, and your server and my server, they may not have the proper communication certificates to assure that neither one of them are spam. And sometimes they're either outdated or they're not updated, and so therefore it gets blocked as spam, and either it gets blocked and never sent, or it gets dumped in a memory hole, or sometimes it goes to my spam folder. It's one of the three. So if your receipt doesn't get received on my end, that's typically what is that process of what happens. In that case, if it can't go through and it won't go through, you've tried a couple of times, just send it to me on a DM. But that's the last ditch effort. I need everybody really to use the email process. The DMs, you don't even understand the number of DMs I have. I may not get to a DM in 2 weeks the way things are going. So I suggest you use the email for the receipt to get into the group if that's what you're trying to do. So Trisha, the YouTube Premium, I mean, as long as that you're a member of my channel, you're fine. It doesn't matter which tier you're in. Now, if you're just like a YouTube paid YouTube user, where they have their own thing for pay YouTube TV and all that kind of stuff, that doesn't apply to me. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, Emily, you don't always have a receipt or what you would think of as a standard receipt. So yeah, you can do screenshots, whatever it is. There's multiple ways to track where the payment comes from, what you're paying, like Apple Pay, for example. So for example, a lot of people will end up sign up for Facebook fan subscriptions. It goes through Apple Pay. So if you want proof that you're paying the Facebook fan subscription, you do two things. You do a screenshot when you go to my page, because it'll show you as a subscriber. Okay, has a little badge on there and your name, it'll say that word. Or you can go to your Apple Pay account and you'll see a deduction from Meta for $2 and whatever cents, and it'll say, whatever. So then you can send me that. Yes, D'Angela, you got it. No, Jamie, there's questions for everybody. It's a standard questions. And the standard questions are designed to to prove that you're a subscriber. And that's why it's an immediate boot if you don't answer them and if you don't send the receipt. Because no one gets in that doesn't need to be in, no one gets in that doesn't deserve to be in, and no one gets in that tries to sneak their way in. Ain't happening. And I have all the lists of each group, and they're all in an updated spreadsheet, which is then AI compared, and so it immediately notifies anyone that try to scheme, they get booted and they get banned. So I've gotten the process worked out pretty good. It took, I think, 6 hours yesterday to get all that worked out and figured out. But yeah, I'm going to keep this thing really tight. And it should be. There should be no freeloaders or people trying to abuse the system. There should be no humans trying to take advantage of another human. If you do it on my watch, that was a big mistake. All right, just gonna scroll through some more questions. Yeah, Kerry, we talked about the family deal. Just send me a message. The spouses can come into the group. Hey, oh, that's another thing, Emily. Sometimes your email or your name is different. You do realize I am not a mind reader, and I will not know that the two names are the same person. So if you're using an alias, especially a lot of you on YouTube use aliases, locals, all you guys are aliases. I don't know who the hell that is. I don't know what your name is. So you're going to have to tell me. You're going to have to reach out on the email and say, hey, here's the receipt. By the way, I'm known as so-and-so on Facebook, even though I go by XYZ2 on YouTube. So you're going to have to tell me, otherwise you'll never get in. You're just going to be spinning your wheels. Lindsay, yeah, now you already have a subscriber by you, so you're already in, obviously. But if you wanted to get into the private group page, then yeah, you have to send me proof that you're a subscriber. I'm not going to know otherwise, and the only way I would find out is if I have to go and dig you up, and I don't have time for that. So you have to just come and tell me. Jennifer, you just send it to, in that when you do request access to the group, there is an email in there, one of the questions, and it says, right on the top, it says, did you send your receipt to at@aarontuttle.com? Yes. Did you send it? And I think the second answer is no, I didn't, and I'm going to get declined. So it's right there on the question form, but I know a lot of people just don't take the time to read, so they miss it. And they try to move on real quick. So this is not a process you want to do quickly. My wife is a quick one. She skims about a third of whatever she's reading, just presses buttons and she closes it, moves on. I'm like, oh, no, that's not how this works. So she laughed about it because she said, you're dealing with a lot of me out there. I said, a lot of you out there is going to sit in purgatory or get declined. I said, y'all better stop and read. So yeah, so it's on there. And I do know, I think if you script too many times, it won't show you the questions anymore. I think I've heard that happening. So just get it right the first time. Take your time. There's only a few questions, and you'll be all right. So Dixon on Instagram, yes, I am. Taking the whole thing private. Yeah, Rachel, I can tell you that between using apps and web browsers, everything is different. For example, YouTube is more difficult to navigate on your app, on your phone, as far as member subscriptions go, versus the website browser. Browser from your computer. That I found out the hard way because we were like, I can't even find you, but if I go on the computer, on the browser, there it is, as far as the signing up or upgrading or changing, your tier level, etc. So for what it's worth, you might have to try different ways. By the way, Jody is reading all these comments, and she does most of the acceptance. So if there's a problem, you can blame her. Oh, and she loves banning trolls, too. So if you see in there, Aaron banned me, odds are I didn't get a chance to see it. Jody went in there and went, F you, baby, you're gone. And then laugh about it. So you're just wasting your time. But yeah, so she's a good trooper. She helps me out big time, because I told you, man, I don't have time. This is all admin stuff. I ain't got no time for admin stuff. I'm a creator. I'm a builder. That's right. I gave away your secrets. Let's see here. Yeah, the subscriber hubs, D'Angela. Okay, so there's two things. I need to make this more clear. So on Facebook, all right, right now everybody's still on the unlocked everything catch all, right? So on Facebook, there is the main page that everybody's been used to. On that main page, there is a subscribers hub, and you can only access it if you do the Facebook fan subscriptions option. Then that allows you access to the subscribers hub, and you can see that tab, and all that content under that tab is only visible to you because you're a subscriber. No one else can see it. So that is where you go instantly and automatically when you sign up that way. And yes, you can get my live broadcast there. You can get all my posts there. Okay. The second thing you can do, you don't have to do it if you've gone this route, is you can get access to the private Facebook group. And in that group is where I put everybody else as well from the different platforms that are not on Facebook, because maybe they want to be on Facebook, but they can't be on the subscriber main page because they've already paid to watch on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. So I put them in the group page as well as a second place they can go. So it's another way to expand the community, and just have another option, because maybe one platform's having problems that day. I don't know. I mean, you never know. So you're fine on where you want to go on that Facebook version you're talking about, or you can also get access to the group page. It is fine. You can double dips, no problem. Yeah, Tiara, oh, I remember your name. We were like, what is going on with this girl? She doesn't answer the questions, and then she doesn't give the receipt, and then she gave me the receipt, but then doesn't answer the questions, or something like that. I can't remember. There's so many that we have fits with. We're like, well, if she didn't do it, just hit deny, because that's the rules. Denied. It looks like if you screw up too many times, it won't even give you what you're supposed to get. So you're one of those troublemakers. So try again, and then I'll have Jody override the denial, put you in there. So Tim, it's the same thing. It's you have to think of it. How am I explain this for you differently than what I just did? Unless you just joined in, you totally missed it all. The group is like any other group on Facebook. All right, some of them are open. You can just join. Others you had to be approved to join. And then some, you had to be some paid member to join. All right, so those are different groups. It's just like that. All right, so I'll put everybody in that group that wants to be in that group. That's it. That group has all the same stuff that other platforms are going to have, that are all paid. All right, subscribers. The subscriber section on Facebook you're talking about is already there, has been there, and you have it. You didn't even know it. If you're a subscriber, you're already in there. You just have a badge above your name, but you can see hidden stuff that no one else can see. That's the difference there. So like whenever I go to post content, I have an option. I can pick it for public, which means everybody. I can pick it for subscriber hub, which means only the subscribers can see it. Or I can select private, or I can select whatever. So you've had that option the whole time. You can stay there and be fine. You're still going to get everything that you want. It's just you're just going to have your group of people there. But if you want to interact with people from different platforms in the Facebook group page, well, then go join that one as well. And you can pick whichever one you want when it comes to like watching videos or whatever. Some people, do that. In the past, when I had originally set up this group page, there was a lot of people that were kind of active in the group page, but the numbers were so small compared to the main page, so that when I would do the lives, they missed out on the community of thousands of people talking rather than just having tens or hundreds talking. It was a huge difference. So they felt it was more animated on the main page because you would have way more people chiming in. So what happened then over time is that on the group page there was just less and less interaction, just because more and more people wanted to watch where everybody else was. Well, now that that's been shut down, that's no longer an option. So you just have the Facebook fan subscribers, and then you're going to have the group subscribers. And odds are, at the end of the day, they may be about equal, or maybe we'll have slightly more in the group than what's in just the regular fan subscribers section. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Eric, no, the AT app has no payment processing through it, and I'm so glad, because that's a headache as well. Everybody wants their cut of everything. Google and Apple, man, they own you. They own you, and they will rob you blind. So no, I'm glad I don't have to do anything financial on there. Okay, we have detected inactivity during your current live. I don't know what that means. TikTok. All right, TikTok. Get active in there. Guys aren't active enough. Oh my goodness. All right, I see Jody's in there answering questions and handling troublemakers. I don't know how she does it. She's on all these platforms all at the same time, helping you guys out, answering your questions. So TikTok's new as far as they have this studio that you can run that's brand new. They're still figuring it out. Every week they do an update and the whole thing changes, and they're so far behind. It's just interesting to watch them try to catch up at a fast, feverish pace. I think what happened was they just didn't do it because they thought they were going to get banned, and so they didn't want to put the effort into it. And now they realize they're not getting banned, so now they're trying to hurry up and make it comparable to the other outlets. So they'll get a little bit better with time. All right, so G-Bob, yeah, right now you're on the main page because this is an open broadcast, so that's why you're able to see it. Sharon, you're already a Facebook fan subscriber because you have the badge and the name next to your name, so you're good. If you want to get into the Facebook group, you just have to send me an email with the proof that you're a subscriber, screenshot or receipt. Denise, you can go to wherever you pay it, from Apple Pay or Google Pay or PayPal, however you set it up. Or you can just take a screenshot that shows that you're a subscriber. You go to my page, you have your badge and stuff. Okay. What in this Aaron Tuttle's Meteorologist chatbot? What the garbage is this? You've already turned on the live notifications for Aaron Tuttle Meteorologist. You'll continue to get notified when they go live. What is this nonsense? Interesting. Oh, I've never seen that actually work. Oh, Facebook had turned this on, had given you an option to enable this type of chatbot. It's supposed to help to answer questions, like an AI thing, like months ago. And then I turned it on and never even saw it do anything. And all of a sudden, it's the first time I've seen it. It's actually doing something. Hope it was helpful. Interesting. Well, y'all talk to the chatbot. Be nice to it. So will this main page go on the subscription only, Kimberly? I don't know what you mean. I think I saw your question earlier. When will it start? But we're starting now. I mean, this whole process is underway right now. That's why I'm saying I suggest you make the transition if you'd like to hang with us, because March 1st I'm going to run it so thin on time. Getting you in the group and getting you approved is going to be backlogged. So that's why I'm sounding the horns now to get it done. Don't procrastinate. Esther, the bots have been popping up this session. Well, good. Make them work. All right, I'm going to go slip back over here to YouTube real quick. But again, if you guys have any questions, any confusion, now's your time. This is a live Q&A on signing up for the whole subscriptions for the platforms. So that means, yes, my severe weather coverage will all be for subscribers only. Same thing, tornado coverage, that's included. My blogs, that's included. My forecast that I give out, that's included. That's all only for members. So no more, no more out there for just free consumption. I've done that for 15 years and I'm changing. And I've described many ways, many times from different videos and posts. And you can always go back and look at them all. But it's happening. So whether you like it or not, change is occurring. It'll be good though. I'm looking forward to it. It does a couple of things. One, it shrinks this whole group back. Seriously, 200,000+ people for me to try to handle is too many. To be honest with you, that's too many, man. It's like having 200,000 cats and you're the old lady in the home. Ain't no way you can handle 200,000 cats. Same thing. I can't do it. It's too many. So you miss out on the personal interaction. You miss out on the one-on-one time. And that's how this whole thing started back in the day, right? It just grew out of proportion, just grew out of control. All organic, which was awesome. I didn't pay to do this because I couldn't. There was no money in this. So it all went organic, all because you guys did it. That was great. Nowadays, and you see big accounts, it ain't organic. It's all paid. All the news stations pay big money to get all their big name news people out. For the longest time, I was kicking their butt. For years, they were all frustrated, and then they figured out they could just pay their way to get up there on their number count. And I said, knock yourself out. I don't care. It don't matter to me. But so I'm actually going backwards. I actually want to shrink it. So you guys are trying to grow. I'm shrinking. So I think it'd be better that way. Plus, all those copycats, imitators in the weather communities that's been copying and repurposing my forecasts for their own, and then trying to build their own following. There's a guy right now who's been doing it for years. I called him out about it. He was such a tool, and in the early days, he would ask me all these questions, like, why do you always ask me how I'm forecasting and why? And it took a while for me to realize he was building his own thing behind the scenes because he wanted to emulate me so bad. And so that's what he did. And he was just a clown. He had no weather background, no educational training. He was just a grifter. And he built up his whole little thing. And I'm like, good for you. You're an NPC turd. And but yeah, he's been copying me for years. So once I go private, poor baby's not going to be able to get all the forecast stuff. He's going to have to do it on his own. We'll see what an idiot without a brain does. He won't work too well. So I'm looking forward to that. Just because, why? Why? I'm not feeding the NPC trolls anymore. So this will shut that down. And they're going to have to actually work for their money. Flocked up. Yeah, that guy. I see so many people go, he's awesome. Well, yeah, he's awesome if you like to follow someone who's not even a meteorologist and he's just a grifter. He's a great grifter. Go grift away. And that's another reason why I'm getting out of this whole space at that level. I said, nah, I'm done. I'm an educated professional. It's irritating. it's like watching a bunch of kids come in there and just take over. And I'm like, what? I'm looking around going, who the hell invited all you clowns in? What are y'all doing? I'm like, no, I ain't having this. And I'm picking up my people and I'm getting the hell out of here. And we're gonna start a whole new deal on our own. And you guys can have this nonsense, this zoo. So that's the new social media landscape is a zoo. And it's too bad it came to this, but it's because there was, I don't know, man. There was just no policing. And so the weather industry just took a dump. And I was like, what a shame. So it took a while. It was little by little. But then the last couple of years, I think since COVID, it just out of control. And I'm like, that's it. I saw the writing on the wall, so I knew something had to change. I was just holding out as long as I could. And I said, it's now or never, man. So it's now. I know. Nobody can do what I can do, Christine. And it's just funny. I'm just imagining what they're thinking when they go, oh no, I can't find out what AT said. I don't know what he's going to think about this storm coming in. I don't know what to say now. I'm going to have to come up with something on my own. Oh crap, I won't be as accurate as I used to be. Oh, maybe because I was never accurate at all. I was just a copycat. Oh no, people know I'm a fraud. I would love to be in the head of that person. Anyway, I just have fun with that. I don't spend any time thinking about that. That's just right now because I'm rambling. I just think it's going to be funny. But they can always go, well, what did AT say? You'll never know. That's for paid members only. Of course, I can always have some trolls that try to pay to get in. I'll find you, though. I won't let you in, or I'll snip you out. I got my ways. I did have a guy do that. He created 3 different accounts to try to get into the group. And then he wrote big posts about it. And then complained he got kicked out each time. Or one not even let in. I'm like, what a nut job. Why the hell am I living in your head rent free, man? Go do something else. Why is it so important to you, weirdo? You find a lot of psychos out there, man. I come across a bunch. Let's see. Mahona. So you're already a subscriber, so you're good. You just have to screenshot, like if you're in Patreon or whatever, just go to your Patreon app or whatever, just open it up and show that you're a member or whatever, and screenshot it if you don't have the receipt. Jennifer, it's at@AaronTuttleWeather.com. Well, thanks, Brenda. It's just a little greasy today. I got some hair scalp medicine. I got this thing right here I got to be careful with. Wait, where am I? This guy right here. That's where I had that thing cut out, lipoma. So they're going to pull the stitches out on Tuesday. Surgery went well, though. That was good. It was wrapped around like a nerve and vein complex, so you have to be really careful so he didn't paralyze the whole part of my face and scalp. But you did a good job. Let's see here. All right, so let me go back to YouTube again real quick. I'm just bouncing around different platforms, just trying to skim the content, skim the comments, see if there's any question I need to answer. If there's not, I'll probably wrap this up here pretty soon. Because I'm finding myself answering the same question over and over. Scorpion. I know, Jeff. Yeah, Dave. Ryan Hall skirts the whole thing that he's not a meteorologist. He just kind of hides it. No need to point that out in big bold letters. By the way, I'm not a meteorologist, but by God, I'm going to pretend to be one. And I'm going to skew all the algorithms in my favor with all this hype and big letters and scary shit. Make everybody watch, and I'm going to get rich off a bunch of morons that don't know the difference. Woo for grifters. Yeah. Good luck with that, man. Not my cup of tea. Kadam on IG, why is it more expensive? Good question. Ask IG. So that's a little tip. Each content provider, each platform provides their own tier system, and they have a bottom end, a low end, and they each pick whatever that low end is, and I just picked the low end. So YouTube, for example, and looks like IG Live both have the low end. I think it's $2.99, and that's the lowest as it'll go. So that's what I pick. I don't have an option to override it, so that's the difference. That's a good question, though. Up to this point, Facebook hasn't changed, and so it's still at that lower price point. But they may change it. I don't know. I don't know if they can do it legally. I'm not sure how that works. I just do whatever they allow me to do. Just make sure it's affordable. Awesome, Stacy, on TikTok. You too, Brianna. Thank you very much. So TikTok's getting better at having this live chat stuff out and having more interaction that I can see, because otherwise in the beginning there wasn't anything, so it's very limited. So they're getting better with what I can do and see on that during the broadcast. Same thing, Instagram's got the little chat going, so I can peek over, see what you guys are doing as well. Kimberly, just have to send me an email or message me, and I'll send you the link to the group. Jennifer, no, I'm not recovered at all. I'm about 60% today. Throat's feeling a little sore from talking. Have you told us about the good news for next week, Sharon? If you mean in the winter storm, yeah. We started out that way. Tim, well, Facebook. I remember I started Facebook back when it was the baby, So by default, that's the most. You want to recap on the weather? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to give like a 60-second version. And then I'm going to probably wrap this up here. And if you wanted to watch like the graphics and stuff and all that, you can go back and just play the replay and just skim through it with your mouse or your finger and get to the part where you want to get to. So Jason, Patreon is just a kind of a payment processor, for example, platform, just to be able to be a subscriber, and then I can put you in the Facebook group page. So if you do, just send me the email or message me there, and I will send you the link to get to the group page, and that way you get notified there. So on the group page for Facebook, it should be notifying you when I go live. Again, this is Facebook's doing. They should. They always change things. But you can also join the Facebook broadcast channel. So do that, because I can let you know when I go live that way. And then I have like a little bot system that also does live announcements. So there's 3 ways to get notified when I go live. And I would sign up for all 3 if you can, just because you never know which one's going to work properly or not. Since I don't have control over those, I use them. And then whether or not they send out, well, that's up to Facebook and what they feel like for the day, since they seem to change when they feel like it. All right, so let's do this real quick. Bill, just go to my website, aarontuttle.com. Just read the blog that says going to a subscription, paid service. Kim, it's at@aarontuttle.com. All right. Yeah, Laura, it's probably a good idea for you to notify me you're switching platforms. You can do it. It's no problem. A lot of people do it already. But just notify, let me know. But in the end of the day, when I do go to compare databases, I get a fresh database to put into the spreadsheet. But yeah, just to play it safe, just to make sure, because maybe I'll miss it. Maybe I'll miss your name when I go to grab it. You never know, and then you'll get booted. So yeah, just let me know if you decide to switch. Send an email. Okay, I think we're all good. So weather-wise, should be some snow out there, northern Oklahoma, northwest Oklahoma, zipping through central parts of the state and east for the afternoon and evening, and then it's out of here, just some light stuff, just a dusting to an inch at most. And then Tuesday is the rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snowstorm, pretty close to what it was on this past Wednesday, but a little bit more on the ice accumulations. And the zone for the ice is probably a little bit more south, maybe more focused along the I-40 corridor and south into south central Oklahoma versus I-44, example, points north some. Whereas you get more to almost all snow once you get north of 44 and 44, all right? So that's a big difference there. So you get more snowfall amounts because of it in the next storm system. So a few inches here in north central Oklahoma. Some of the miles going like around 8, maybe 9, far northeast Oklahoma along the border of Kansas. And a lot of snow for Kansas, Missouri. Let's see, cold, windy, winds gusting 30, 40 miles an hour. There'll be probably some power outages due to the little combination of the ice that we do get in the wind. That favorite area appears to be over east central Oklahoma, just southeast of probably the metro. Little quadrant, maybe up from, I don't know, I think we looked at Shawnee to like Norman, kind of a deal. Then another area from like east of McAllister to west and southwestern Arkansas, favorite area for power outages, because ice accumulations would be probably around 1/3 of an inch or greater with those gusty winds, and that would be on a Tuesday night time frame. So I think that's about it. So expect a nasty commute going down the hill Tuesday. Timing is still up in the air. Some of the models starting it right at daybreak. Others are starting it just an hour or two after. So I hope it's not a deal where all of us start hitting the roads or get to work and then it all goes downhill and now we're all stuck and trapped, at various places trying to get back home. That's the worst. But if it's a lot of snow and less ice, it's easier to drive on. But if it's a lot of ice again, that's a problem. Anyway, so there you go. So that's the quick and dirty. Otherwise, it's bone cold, pipe bursting cold. We got temperatures down around 0 or lower in parts of the state for Wednesday and Thursday. And wind chill values in negative teens and 20s. So deadly temperatures coming up. All right, so that was your quick 60-second version. Again, you can watch the replay to get all the other specifics on that. All right, let's skim, and then I'm going to get out of here. Jana on TikTok, thank you. Let's see. Amy. Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know. We'll have to look. I haven't looked at the intake for the group in several hours because I've been busy. So I'll go look at it again a little bit here for today. Let a few more in, so I'll look for your name. But there you go. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks again for hanging with me and the Q&A, all that kind of stuff. Hope that cleared up, made it sound more understood as to why we're doing everything differently moving forward. And appreciate you guys being with me for the last 15 plus years, and hope many of you can join me for the next. If 15, we can make it 15, we'll do another 15. We'll see what happens. Either way, appreciate you. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Stay safe.